back to the 21 Convention 2018 of Orlando, Florida. Our next speaker is known as the Cat Daddy of the Red Man Group, the most gentle member of the group, never pops off on anybody. He's also the host of the Sharpe Reality, his own podcast, Kicks Ass. You can check it out at donovansharpe.com. Without further ado, please help me welcome Donovan Sharpe to the stage.
Man, throat's already dry. I haven't started talking yet. All right. I'm going to mention 3 words to you guys right now. It's going to make you quiver a little bit. Now, don't be nervous. National anthem protests. Oh no, Colin Kaepernick, blown out fro, all that stuff. Listen, we all know the story, right? Colin Kaepernick decided to kneel for the national anthem because he was making a stand. We're not going to get into that. What we're going to get into is why he did it and why one side seems to think one way and the other side seems to think another. Now, one side says freedom of expression, freedom of speech. Kaepernick should have a job right now. He should be on an NFL football team. He should not be persecuted for his beliefs, for standing up for what he believes in. Okay, that's fine. But what these people do not understand is that our freedoms are never paid in full, ever. The men who fought and died to give us the freedoms we enjoy today as Americans, that wasn't paid in full, guys. That was the down payment. We, the people, we're on the hook for the monthly payments. We're on the hook for the residual costs. Freedom isn't free, we get that. But just because it was written in the Bill of Rights, just because it's in the Constitution, again, doesn't mean it's paid in full. There are residual costs, no matter how you slice it. Never happens just once. So what's the payment? What's the residual cost of freedom of speech, freedom of expression? Well, that's blowback. Freedom of speech, freedom of expression doesn't mean freedom from consequences. Just because you can, doesn't mean you should. We've all heard that before, right? Show of hands. Okay? We get that. But what people on the other side, I don't want to call it the other side, but what people on the other side don't understand is that we are still on the hook. This shit ain't free. It never has been, and it never will be. I liken it to cars. Unless you walk onto a car lot, and I've sold many, many cars. If you walk onto a car lot, you pay in full, okay, that's fine. But for most people, you walk onto a car lot, you put down your down payment. You're making your payments for 3, 4, 5 years if you're an idiot, 6 years if you aspire to be perpetually broke. When that car is finally paid off, there's still residual costs. You still got to put gas in it. You still have to insure your vehicle. There's maintenance, oil changes, new tires, etc. Then maybe you want a new car. The list goes on. When you buy a house, same thing. You put your little 20% down. You have your house paid off in 20, 25, maybe 30 years. Okay, I'm out of the woods. My house is paid in full, right? Wrong. You still got to pay the tax man. If your sewage goes to shit, pun intended, you're on the hook for that. The point is that nothing is ever paid in full. There are always residual costs. Social justice warriors throughout the years have had a lot of trouble wrapping their minds around this concept. This is why they lose their fucking minds when things don't go their way. We all see it on Twitter. We see the fake outrage. Oh my God, I can't believe XYZ happened. Freedom of the press. We've got the Hogan sex tape. We're going to publish Hulk Hogan having sex. Freedom of the press. Freedom of expression. Wait, Hogan's suing us? Gawker's now out of business? Now I got to file bankruptcy? Residual costs. Kneel for the national anthem. Freedom of expression. Freedom of speech. Wait, I can't get a snip at training camp? Nobody wants to sign me? Colin Kaepernick and Nick Denton were well within their constitutional rights to do what they did. But they found out the hard way, you gotta make those payments. If you don't, you find yourself in bad situations. So Donovan, what does the Constitution, what do our freedoms have to do with living the red pill life? I'm glad you asked. Every one of us in here came to find the red pill for one of two reasons: sexual frustration or heartbreak. And a lot of times it's both. I'm not getting laid. How do I get laid? Right? We do all the regular Google searches. How to become an alpha male. Or worse, how to get my girlfriend back. How to get my cheating girlfriend back. We find that one article. We find that one video. We see this crazy black guy on YouTube yelling at the screen, veins bulging out of his head. Fucking leave her, she's not worth it. Somewhere deep down inside it jives with every circuit of your masculine hard drive, and you're hooked. We have all been in fucked up situations with women. Every one of us in here, to some degree. That is our down payment. Now, my down payment was substantial, as you can see. I was married to a woman, we'll call her Darcy. All kinds of red flags. I actually met her at work. And a lot of guys used to tell me, Donovan, you don't want to mess with her. She's been with a lot of guys. No, I'm different, man. I'm going to rescue her. I'm going to take her away from this place. We quit our jobs, moved to Florida. It was a fucking fairy tale. I'll never forget, we're in Dillon, South Carolina. We're getting married at the Justice of the Peace. She looks at me, she's like, Donovan, stuff like this doesn't happen to girls like me. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I've done it. This is it. I'm 24 years old. As soon as we crossed the Florida state line, the sex dropped off almost completely. We all know the story. She gets rude, she gets bitchy, she gets mean, etc., etc. But there was a red pill moment that I was completely blindsided by it. Think back on your relationships. Just think back right now. There was that one moment, that one event, something she said, something she did, something she reacted to, that for a quick second you thought, yeah, this shit's fucked up. Something's wrong. This happened with me. I'm getting ready to go to work. I say, Darcy, iron my shirt. I said it just like that. I was trying to be a man. Iron my shirt, woman. She said, no. My response, why not? I don't feel like it. I don't want to. So we go back and forth. We're arguing back and forth. Then I shut up for about 30 seconds and I let her keep going. Finally, I'd had enough. I said, shut the fuck up. Guess what she did, guys? She shut the fuck up. She ironed my shirt. I got dressed, went to work. Right before I leave my house, she says, I love you, Donovan. I did not respond. I was pissed. I shouldn't have to be an asshole to get good treatment from a woman, should I? The better I treat them, the better they treat me. So when I got home, I was like, oh my God, she's gonna leave, she's gonna cuss me out. I was expecting all sorts of shenanigans. Soon as I walked into my house, I had a beer on the table, fresh roasted chicken in the oven, mashed potatoes. We got the National League Championship Series on. This is actually Cubs, Marlins, Steve Bartman, the whole nine. Right? She waited on me hand and foot. Gave me the best blowjob ever. I got porn star sex for a week, guys. The entire week, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. But it never did. She never got bitchy, she never got mad, but gradually, little by little, she went right back to being who she was, the bitchy, neurotic, unmotivated wife. The red pill stared me right in the face, guys, and I ignored it because I didn't know. This happens to everybody. So, of course, our marriage, lasted, 7.5, 8 years. We ended up getting divorced. Now, we didn't have any kids. We didn't have any money, and I think our divorce cost us $12. I was very fortunate, very, very fortunate in this regard. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys are out there like, $12? What the fuck? I heard the grumblings. True story. $12 was our divorce. This is one of, I feel like I've got 9 lives when it comes to shit like this. Yes, thank you. Now, when we actually got divorced, when the divorce was finalized, I didn't love her. She didn't love me. She had already moved on to her boyfriends, plural. I think she's probably engaged. I had already moved on. But there was a little bit of sadness because I'd known this woman for almost a decade. And even though the marriage sucked ass, it still kind of sucked to see that come to an end. All right, no problem. I'm still young. I'm still relatively good looking, even though I'm really fat. Then I meet up with Carla. When I say the words, "you can't turn a hoe into a housewife" and "Captain Save a Hoe," oh yeah, this is that story. I'm not going to get way into this, but I rented this woman a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. I put the electricity in my name. I put the cable in my name. Oh yes, yes, shake your heads, guys. I used to be that guy. I paid for everything. What did she do? Well, she was fucking her ex-con, baby daddy, behind my back. That was the plan. Her sister told me the plan. Baby daddy was getting out of prison. She didn't have the credit or the money to get a place for them. That's where Donovan came in. And because I have a thing for Hispanic girls, I took the bait hook, line, and sinker. This woman took full advantage of me. And the way I found out about it was interesting. I went to jail for a week, and I could have bonded myself out rather easily. The only problem was I had just paid her rent, her cable, electricity. So I sat in jail for a week on account of a woman who was fucking somebody else. Let that sit for a while, guys. I'm in jail. Now, don't get me wrong, this was my fault. I'm not going to pretend that I'm innocent here. But I'm in jail for a week longer than I should have been because my money is tied up with this hoe. How did I find out, you ask? So the day I get out, she says, "Donovan, I'm so glad you're out of jail." I'm glad too. Come over and spend the night. Oh shit. I'm going to get to fuck this girl. Finally, Captain Save-A-Ho has found his Lois Lane. I get into her bed. This is how messy this girl was. I get into her bed and I smell a man's cologne. She didn't even wash the sheets. What the fuck, man? So I jump up. I'm like, what the fuck? We're going back and forth. She says to me, "Donovan, I don't think you should come over here anymore." She said this to me. The lease is in my name. I paid everything. You know what I said to her? I said, "Carla, I respect your decision. I'm a man of my word. I will continue to pay the rent and the bills until you change your mind." Yeah. Yep. Now, of course, her sister told me a couple of days later what the real story was. Only then did I find my balls and just cut her off. But a little part of me wanted to keep paying, just in case she were to come back around. The worst of all, if Carla didn't teach me that all women are like that, if Carla didn't lead me to the red pill, Amy most assuredly did. You know, it's funny, like when you think about this stuff, you just laugh because a lot of people ask me, "Donovan, you're so full of rage and this and that and the other. How are you like this?" Yeah, this is why. You're gonna get... You're gonna get girls online. "Who hurt you? You're so bitter." Yeah, you're goddamn right I'm bitter. Bitch was fucking an ex-con while I'm paying the bills. What am I supposed to be, happy about that? You should have known. Yeah, whatever. Different day, different topic. Amy. Hot 19-year-old. I'm 31, she's 19. I feel like I'm the luckiest guy ever. This girl she's 19 years old. She had a 6-year-old kid. Let's do the math. What's 19? Yeah. All my mathematicians out there, what's 19 minus 6, guys? That is 13. Right? Had a kid at 13. So she started having sex. My guess is that she probably didn't start having sex at 13. It's probably sooner than that. The father of her kid, my age. At the time. You can't make this stuff up. So I'm dating this girl for, 8, 9 months. Baby daddy gets out of jail. I said, you know what, Amy? There's no way this is going to work. You guys were in love, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to let you guys be a family. Oh, please don't leave, blah, 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 blah. At that point, the red pill was trying to push through. So I broke up with her. That was that. I stayed up all night long. One of the longest nights of my life. So I'm still awake. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, you know what? I got to have her back. So I give her a call. I'm like, Amy, meet me at this gas station at, 11 o'clock. I go to the jewelry store. Yep. I buy an engagement ring. People wonder why I'm like this. They wonder why I'm like this. This is why. I've seen this shit up close and personal. I have lived this shit. We meet on the side of the gas station road. Her friends are all there. I said, Amy, will you marry me? And she said yes. So now I'm happily engaged. Well, now we're in a love triangle. It's me, Amy, and the baby daddy fresh out of jail. When she got pissed at me, she went and fucked him, and vice versa. That's how it went. So finally, on Thanksgiving Day, 2009, she went to Ben's house for Thanksgiving. She called me up. She said, Donovan, I'm sorry. Ben is the father of my child, and we're going to be a family. Broke my heart, right? That's not all, guys. So shortly after I moved west to Las Vegas, I get a phone call. It's one of our friends, Darlene, one of our mutual friends. She's like, Donovan, Ben is dead. This is Amy's deceased husband now. I'm like, well, what happened? She says, well, Amy was cheating on Ben. Big surprise. She decided to leave Ben for the guy she was cheating with. Ben goes to this guy's house to retrieve his daughter. He starts kicking in the door. Guy on the other side says, if you kick down this door, I will shoot you. Ben kicks down the door. He catches a shotgun slug right to the chest at point blank range. He is gone. That could have been me. I would have done more than kick down a door to retrieve my fair maiden. At some point in our lives, we all would have, right? Once again, I was granted a stay of execution. Interestingly enough, the relationship that led me to the red pill is the most insignificant of the Fantastic Four. I get to Vegas. I'm good at sales. I'm a salesy guy. Got the first call center job I could find. It was a really good job. And me and this big titty Mexican girl, maybe a 6 at best, 5.5, give or take. We hit it off. We're all celebrating. Now let's go party. We all passed our exam. We go to the club. We get sloshed. We hooked up. Well, it didn't take me very long to figure out that she was a low quality girl. It took me maybe 2.5, 3 weeks. So I drove over to her house. I said, Susie, listen, it's not working out. She was completely indifferent. She didn't care. All right, cool, whatever. So a few hours later, her friend calls me up. She's like, yeah, Susie told me that you broke up with her. We're like, yeah, it wasn't working out. Yeah, well, she sounds pretty good right now because she is getting ready to go out on a date. And I said, what? Like, I broke up with this chick like an hour ago. What the hell? So I Googled, why do girls get over breakups so easily? That Google search changed my life. That Google search is why I'm right here, right now. That Google search is why you guys are here. We all Googled these things. We find the red pill. We go through all the stages. I put states. I was in a hurry. We go through shock, anger, depression, acceptance, attempted application, and congruence. Now, a lot of guys drop off at this point. A lot of guys are smart. They start doing the math real quickly. They're like, you know what? If I really want to live this life, I don't know that I can or that I will make this monthly payment. I know what it takes. I know what it's going to require of me to live a life of dominance, to live a life on my own terms. I don't think I can. I don't think I will. And they end up dropping off at this point. For those who decide to stay in, we decide to take on those residual costs. We want that monthly payment because we want to continue to live our lives. So we've got our immediate residual costs. These are unintended consequences. As soon as you take and accept the red pill and decide that you actually like girls and that you want to pursue them, some things are going to happen pretty quickly. Your social circle is going to shrink. Your friends' wives are not going to let your friends come around you. They will not. You represent the life that he could have. My best friend in college, every time his wife used to come to Vegas, every time him and his wife used to come to Vegas, right? Great place for a married man. I'd be talking about this girl I fucked and that girl I fucked, and she'd be looking at him like, see? The grass isn't always greener on the other side. And there he is with his head down. The last time he came to Vegas, we had a little bit of fun, have not seen him since. You're going to have less tolerance for bullshit, guys. One of your buddies is going to say, happy wife, happy life, and you're going to be like, what? The fuck is wrong with you? And his girlfriend is going to be like, well, what's wrong with that? And when you tell her why, that's the last you will see of him. That's a residual cost, guys. That's part of the payment. You will lose lifelong friends. I'm here to tell you. Your family is going to wonder, what is wrong with you? One of my sisters, love my dear sister. She is brilliant. She's going to Fashion Week in Paris. Love her. I'm very proud of her. She's a militant, hardcore feminist. We have butted heads. But she tells me, Donovan, you're in a cult. You're a misogynist. I actually lived with her for a little while in Atlanta during my transitional period. And she'd tell me, put down the toilet seat. Guess that was her little jab, doing this for feminism. Your family will not approve of your lifestyle, guys. They're not going to. When you come out of the closet as a straight male who likes to pursue women, how long have you felt this way? You're going to get all those questions, guys. You're going to get those disapproving glances. The most difficult conversation I ever had with my mom. We're on the phone. I'd been in Vegas for a few years. Maybe I was high, maybe I wasn't. I don't remember. And she says, Donovan, you used to be such a sweet boy. You used to treat girls with respect. You were honest with them. You didn't use them for sex. You didn't play mind games. What's gotten into you? Is it the desert? Is it the heat? What's going on? I said, Mom, I'm just going through a transitional period in my life. I don't want to tell her. She's my mom. She kept poking. She kept prodding. She said, no, I'm your mother. I want to know. Okay. I said, well, mother, when I stopped treating women like my father treated you and started treating them like the crackhead you left him for, my success with women substantially increased. Dead fucking silence. She knew I was right, guys. We have not broached the subject since. Another immediate cost, you're not going to like girls as much. No, I'm not saying that you're going to hate girls. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, you're going to have a relationship with a sex doll. If you do, hey, no judgment here. That's more for the rest of us. You're not going to like girls as much, guys. They're not as mysterious. They're not as awe-inspiring. I remember I used to think that girls were God's greatest gift. The way they smell, the way they look, right? Women are weird. They're wonderful. They're fucked up and fantastic all at once, all the time. The red pill has destroyed that for me. We can accurately predict the actions and motivations of a woman down to the speech, down to what she's going to tell us. We now know how the sausage is made, guys. Ignorance is bliss. You're not going to like girls as much. You're still going to you're still going to love them. You're still going to pursue them. But the shine is coming right off. Some of the midterm or the intermediate residual costs. This is what I like to call the Vagina Vortex. So you found the red pill, right? You've practiced, you've drilled, you've rehearsed, you've gotten yourself into a little better shape. Now we all make that declaration. I'm going to spin 10 plates. I'm going to fuck nothing but 9s and 10s forever. I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to bang 10s, going to add 10 girls every 10 days. We all make that declaration, and we're highly motivated because now all of a sudden we're great with girls. Just like I said, the red pill's like a superpower, guys. You can predict a woman's behavior. You now become fluent in womanese. So you're out on a date with a woman, and she says, yeah, my ex-boyfriend cheated on me. Really? Yeah, man, my ex-boyfriend was terrible. He was an alcoholic. He cheated on me. He did drugs. He had a gambling problem. That's what she says. Your red pill womanese subtitle says, I am cheating on my boyfriend with an alcoholic drug addict with a gambling problem. You see these things. It's clear to you. You're good at sleeping with women. That becomes all that it's about. So, that comes to this. Building a harem, we all want a bunch of girls we want to sleep all in rotation. That's a full-time job, guys. That is a cost. You guys most of you have heard my stories. Oh, I bagged this girl and that girl in Vegas and this and that and the other. There is a cost to that. The very first, quote, 10 I ever slept with. Girl's name was Lisa. She was beautiful. I didn't fuck her on the first date. Didn't fuck her on the second date. Fucked her on the third date. Way to go, Donovan! Hold up, don't give me credit quite yet. Before I fucked her, I paid for 3 dates. Of course, we're buying clothes, we're getting ready. That's more time, that's more money. Text game, having conversations on the phone, making sure she doesn't spin out of my orbit. And because she's a 10, I'm not going out and trying to add new girls. I'm thinking she's the holy grail. Okay, I finally fucked her. I invested anywhere between, 12 and 13 hours. That's one girl. I fucked her 3 times, and she was gone. Lost my place here. Now, you can go out and you can slay sluts if you want to. You can make that your full-time job. But that's part of that monthly payment, guys. A lot of guys out here, they think they want it easy. Yeah, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna add 10 girls a week. It does not work that way. It takes time, it takes effort. The legendary Paul Janka, I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with him, real good friend of Troy Francis. He had a legendary closing percentage of 11%. So for every 9 girls he approached, he slept with 1 of them. An example I like to give to illustrate how difficult pickup game is my 10 rule. You go out, you talk to 10 girls. If you're good, you're going to get 7 phone numbers. And by the way, getting a girl's phone number doesn't mean shit. So for all you guys thinking, I'm going to go out and get 18 numbers, that's where it starts. Talk to 10 girls, you get 7 numbers. 4 of them are going to respond. 2 of them are going to agree to a meetup, and at least 1 of them is going to flake. That's 10%. If your closing percentage is 10%, you are a fucking god. You are king fucking dingaling. You are the cock Casanova. Okay? You get the point. Sleeping with multiple women all the time is hard. And when you hit a slump, and you will, this is when you hit depression. This is when you figure out, you know what? Maybe living the red pill life isn't really all about pussy. The beauty of living the red pill life and what we teach is that you have to be multidimensional. Yes, sticking your dick in a new vagina is wonderful. But sometimes the juice really isn't worth the squeeze. As a good friend of mine once put. Now, a lot of guys at this point, they drop out. They experience that rejection. Man, I thought the red pill was going to get me laid. I thought it was going to get me pussy. All I'm fucking are 5s and 6s. And now I'm not even fucking those. They drop out. They don't want to pay the price. They thought it was going to be easy. They thought the red pill was the cheat code. Say this, do that. Act in this way. Insta pussy. Just add water. Does not work that way. It doesn't work that way. Now, guys who do decide to stay in, they decide not to spend as much time chasing women because you guys quickly figure out that the less I chase women, the more they chase me. Right? When you focus on other parts of your life, fitness, finances, goals, projects, maybe starting your own business, it's funny how girls kind of gravitate towards you. So, what are you up to over here? You don't have to concentrate on it. Now, girls are passive. You still have to approach. But girls can see that thirst. In this, I don't know how many sales guys we have in here. In sales, we call that commission breath. When you've got a prospect on the phone and you're 50% of your sales goal, you're like, shit, I got to make my mortgage payment next month. I got to close this deal. You get commission breath. You start doing things out of desperation. Girls see that. That's that scarcity mindset. Now we're going to get into the long-term residual costs. If you want a woman, your woman chose you. Now we're talking about long-term relationships here. Your woman chose you. You've got a woman, you've vetted her, you've trained her, etc. She chose you because you're in great shape, you dress well, you're going places, you've got a plan. Girls love a man with a plan. They will commit to a man with a plan. Now you've got to maintain your high value, guys. Women do not, and we hear this all the time, a woman never ever loves you for who you are. Guys, get this through your thick fucking skulls. A woman's never going to love you. She doesn't give a fuck about you. She loves what you are, not who you are. If I were to get fat, if I were to lose my motivation, if I were to get bitchy, guess what? My woman has every right to upgrade. Unconditional love is for the weak. How many of you guys believe in unconditional love? Don't be afraid. I'm not going to come down there. Yes, unconditional love does exist for kids and animals. Your woman will never love you unconditionally. There are conditions to her love, affection, and respect for you. You want to know something, guys? I like it like that. I like the fact that if I lose my shit, my woman's out the door. I like the fact that I have to maintain my value. I like the fact that I got to be up at 4:30 in the morning, squat until I puke. I like having to be on my game every day. It's called embracing the masculine burden of performance. You are a man. And if you believe in unconditional love, you are weak and you are fucking lazy. You want a woman who's going to stay fit and beautiful so you can just put it in cruise control. So you can play video games and eat Doritos and fucking O's all day. As great as that would be, all of us in here would be lumps of shit. If unconditional love were real, if women loved unconditionally, we could all become fat slobs. I love you, honey. Yeah, whatever. Give me another pizza. Maintaining high value is hard. It is difficult. Then you have to keep your woman in line. Oh my God. How do you keep a woman in line? You cannot tolerate disrespect. You cannot show her weakness. You can't open up to her and be vulnerable. You can't have talks about your feelings over cups of latte. These are female activities. Guys always want to know, why did my woman cheat on me? Why did my wife friend zone me? Because you acted like her fucking friend. That's why. Keeping a woman in line, guys, is not easy. It is hard. And guess what? You're not going to want to do it every day. You're not going to be able to bring your A game every day. If your woman or your wife gets out of pocket, you got to check her. If you don't, that fissure's going to crack. Next thing you know, she's fucking who? Kevin in sales. That's right. Kevin in sales is waiting on you to crack. Kevin in sales wants you to believe in unconditional love. Kevin in sales wants you to let your woman get away with disrespectful behavior. This is the cost of living the red pill life, guys. This is the residual cost. A lot of you guys aren't ready. A lot of you guys don't want to make that payment. We're in here now. You don't want to make that payment. You have to demand your woman's best. You guys think I didn't have long conversations with Devin about the protocol when we come to the 21 Con? You have to have these difficult conversations with your woman. You have to reward good behavior, which is all well and good. Then you have to correct the bad behavior. Guys, it's not easy. Correcting bad behavior sucks. I know it sucks. I'm here to tell you. This is why the vast majority of men do not have good relationships with their women, because they are afraid. They're not willing to pay that residual cost. Now, what happens if you stop making payments? What happens when you stop making car payments? Car gets repossessed. What happens when you stop making your house payments? Your house gets foreclosed on. And who's the repo man? That's Kevin. Kevin is driving this vehicle right here. That's your woman. Actually, Kevin's not driving the vehicle. Kevin is in the vehicle fucking your woman. That's where he's at. Listen, you made your down payment. You came out here to 21 Con. You made the investment. You go out, you fuck a bunch of girls. Everything is good. No, you got to continue to make those payments. Guys, this is why some men have decided to check out of relationships. No dealings with women romantically. Marriage? No way. Relationships? No. No friends with benefits, no one-night stands. Not even hookers. They decide to have relationships with sex dolls. They decide to get addicted to porn. They completely check out. We call those guys incels, involuntary celibates. And you want to know something, guys? For all the flack I give those guys, I can't say I blame them. Living this life is fucking hard. The benefits are innumerable. The rewards are unimaginable. My life is forever changed. But it is not easy to live this life. Listen, it's great to have all these speakers here telling you how to live the red pill life, how to do things on your own term. That's great. But you got to be willing to pay that price, guys. That price is high. Now, at some point, we learn that women are not a necessity. Yeah, guys, you can learn to live the red pill life without a woman or women. Now, here's the thing. Is it easier to live the red pill life without a woman? Yeah, probably. This is where the rubber meets the road. A lot of guys ask me, Donovan, you're up to your eyeballs in cocaine and women in Vegas. Why did you give it up, dude? I think every one of us in here can admit that even though women are not a necessity, that our lives are elevated when you have a good, reliable woman in your life. I mean, let's be honest. We can all say hashtag bitches ain't shit, right? These hoes ain't loyal. We can all talk all that stuff. But at the end of the day, we understand that having a woman in your life elevates your life. Let's be real. We don't need women, but we want women. How many guys in here want women? Right. It doesn't make any sense to sit here and say, well, I'm completely checked out. If you do, again, I don't blame you. I got bad news, guys. I got bad news here. I'm looking at you guys, right? I see men of all shapes, colors, sizes. We're all here having a good time. You guys cannot make the payment. You guys don't want to. Yeah, you paid your money to be here. We're all clapping, having a good time, right? Swinging dicks, walking around, smoking cigars, having a good time. Yeah, I want to be like these guys. No, you don't. You're not ready for those scars. You're not ready for that cost. You're not ready for the isolation that's involved, guys. You're not ready to lose all of your friends. You're not ready to get rid of the friends that are keeping you down. There is nothing more dangerous in this world than a red pill aware male who cannot get rid of his blue pill friends. Nothing more dangerous, man. They will drag your ass down with you. You can be rest assured. And if you keep hanging with those guys, you're going to end up right back here next year. In the same spot that you were in today. You're not ready for that risk. You're not ready to start a business. You're not ready to start that blog. You say you want to help the manosphere? You want to help get the red pill truth out there? You're not ready to have that target on your back the minute you publish that first YouTube video. You're not ready for people to start talking shit about you or be ready to take you down the minute you post that first blog post. You're not ready. You don't want to make that payment. You're not ready to strike up conversation with women. You're not ready to deal with rejection on a level higher than you could ever imagine. You are not ready. You will not do it. You see a big-titted, ample-breasted brunette in line? You're not ready. You're not going to talk to her. You're afraid of rejection. You're not ready to deprive yourself of useless indulgences to get your financial house in order. This right here, this is an iPhone SE. Yeah, I've never heard of it either. It's the smallest, cheapest iPhone there is. I used to have a Windows phone. You're not ready to give up waiting in line for the latest iPhone or the Samsung Galaxy S19 or whatever the hell is out there. You're not ready to give up spending $12 a pack on a pack of cigarettes. You're not ready to give up the useless shit that keeps you in the financial rut. You're not ready to give up credit cards. You're not ready. You're not ready to keep in shape at the gym, guys. You think you want to get up at 4:30 in the morning, do overhead press, bench press, do that 5-6 days a week? No, you don't. You don't really want to change. You want to come all the way down here to Orlando, Florida, play grab ass with each other, talk shit. We're going to fuck bitches. We're going to take over the world. What happens when you leave these doors? You're not ready to watch what you eat. You're not ready to deprive yourself of the kinds of food you love. You're not ready for that. That's a high price to pay. You're not ready to be confrontational. You're not ready to tell a guy, fuck you. Why? Because you're afraid to get in a fight where you might get hit in the face. You want to live the red pill life? Look motherfuckers in the eye. You're not ready for confrontation. You're not ready to stop watching porn. You're not ready to stop jerking off, Pornhub or whatever Alan Roger Curry said. That's another residual cost. It is not easy to stop watching porn, guys. I'm here to tell you. I had a porn addiction myself. None of you in here want to pay that price. You can, because you're a man. This is what men are designed to do. We don't sit around and bitch about what's wrong with the world. We get up off our asses, we fucking do something about it. I've paid a high price to get to where I am today. I'm not stopping. I'm going to keep doing this. But you guys do not want to pay the price. You can, but you don't want to. Now, Hunter Drew made a hell of a speech yesterday. Hunter Drew's a nice guy. He said that if you come back here next year and you are in the same position you're in, you should be disappointed in yourself, as you should. Me, I'm not a nice guy. I'm going to take you aside. I'm going to tell you, what the fuck? What are you wasting your time and money for? What are you wasting my time for? Coming to 21 Con right now, as of right now, means shit. You sitting in this room right now doesn't mean shit. Until you leave this place and go out and do what the fuck you have to do to change your life. Yeah, this is probably motivational porn, but that's it. It doesn't just stop right here. Yes, we've all made our down payments. We've all been through fucked up relationships with women. But if you really want to live that life, guys, there is a price to be paid. This shit ain't easy. That's why nobody does it. You see the guy with the hot girlfriend who does what the fuck he says? She's still head over heels for him? That's the guy who gets it. That's the guy who pays the price. You ask him, how do you do it? His first words, whew. That's what he's going to tell you. You will not pay. I got one last question for you. How many of you in here think I am wrong about you? Raise your hand. How many of you think I'm wrong about the fact that you will not pay the price? It's not a trick question, guys. Right? You guys think I'm wrong? Then fucking prove it. That's it.
All right, guys, if you got any questions, come on up.
Yes.
Awesome speech, Donovan. I just want to go through some of the stats. I do a lot of day game and night game.
Yep.
I open really good, 3-second rule and all that. So you mentioned like out of every 10 girls you talk to, you might get 7 numbers.
Yep.
And then 4 might respond. And then 2 might agree to meet up, but then 1 will flake. And then 1 will meet up. But obviously, your close rate or my close rate, even if that girl shows up, it might be just a make out or a date. It's not going to be a fuck close. So how do you define whether that 1 is successful or just going out on the date is, amazing already?
Define amazing.
No.
That's good. That's funny. Really, it depends upon what your intentions are. Okay? If you hit on a hot girl, you are hitting on her because you want to fuck her, right? Like, again, let's not mince our words here. So, okay, so you don't sleep with her on the first date. Maybe you sleep with her on the second date. Maybe you sleep with her on the third date. But the way you, I don't know, like statistically, I guess the way you would define success is if you fuck her. That's it, man. Again, and I didn't mean to circumvent your question, but this is pass fail. Okay? Like if you really want to live that player life, if you really want to live that pickup player life, man, you got to go for broke. And success is having sex with her, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Donovan, for the guys in here that are not going to take action and not live a red pill lifestyle, it's because they're probably not going to look forward to isolation. How can we embrace and look forward to isolation?
Yeah. The fact that you're here gives you a head start. You have to find other like-minded men. And we all have cell phones. We all have the internet. Guys, listen, commingle with each other. We got guys here from around the world. And listen, men, we thrive in isolation. It's one of these things like when we're by ourselves, this is when we really thrive. This is when we put out our best work. Now, if you're the kind of guy who's got his friends and his family around all the time, it is going to be a little bit of a rough transition, but it's almost like the keto flu. It lasts for a couple of days, but eventually you get through it. It's kind of like a blunt force trauma thing, but find like-minded men. Dude, text each other, FaceTime each other, Skype each other. That's the way to get through the isolation period. You also have to understand this too, guys. You don't have to be all out and about to live a good life. Sometimes it does help to just kind of get off the grid and to just, hit the reset button. Believe me, guys, just getting off the grid for a little while, it might be a little bit hard at first, but if you try to do it at least once a month, and that will get you used to the isolation, because I'm telling you, the isolation's coming, guys. It's coming. I probably have maybe 3 friends. I mean, obviously, you guys are all my friends, right? But men like us, we don't really have too many people that we can confide in, that we can talk to. I hang out with my 4 closest friends every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. That's the way I do it. So I would suggest you doing the same.
Donovan, with regards to the blue pill friendships, how do you decide, or how do you triage them when you're deciding whether to cut them off, compartmentalize them, or maybe even try and convert them?
Oh, wow, convert. You kind of have to do it. You kind of have to do it in a roundabout way. It's kind of like game, sort of a non sequitur approach, kind of like a day game approach. Hey, you know what? There's this crazy guy who curses people out on the internet. You really should check this guy out. He's got some interesting things. Wanted to get your thoughts. Or, hey, you know what? I just finished this book called The Rational Male. Take a look. Tell me what you think. If they buy into it, they're going to ask questions. If they don't, poke and prod a little bit. Hey, did you read The Rational Male? If not, if they don't pursue you for more information, then you're going to have to cut them off. Because again, when you start to progress in your red pill life, like when you start to make the progression, you will separate yourself from them. And I'm telling you right now, guys, girls hate, guys are fucking haters, man. They are fucking haters. Oh, all you do is use women for sex. Yes, and you wish you were me. Like, that's why you're upset. Right? That's how that goes. And guys who, when you start to separate yourself from your blue pill friends, and I'm telling you, it's not easy, but you gotta let those guys go. Because those guys can get you, they can get you in some bad situations. Men who are jealous of other men are very dangerous. They're very dangerous, guys. They will sabotage you. They will set you up. They will try to fuck your girl. They'll try anything and everything they can to take you down a peg or 3. So I would say, hey, look, check out this blog, check out this video. Here's The Rational Male. Tell me what you think. If they don't pursue you for more information, then chances are, you don't just cut them off right there. You didn't pursue me for more information. I'm just going to cut it off. But pay attention to their reactions. If they don't pursue you for more information, it's far more likely than not that you're probably just going to have to routinely separate yourself from them to kind of wean them off of you. But listen, it is unavoidable. I'm telling you, if you really, really want to live this life, you've got to get rid of these guys. Hey, Kevin.
Donovan, great speech. Appreciate your energy and all. Say you want to have an LTR. What are some things you can do and say to her to keep her in pocket in advance? Like before she gets misbehaving, things like that down the line and you're recorrecting. What can you say early on in a relationship, that you keep her in the pocket?
Well, the first thing you got to be high value. A lot of guys out here say, I want my girl to be hourglass. Dude looks like a basketball. Right? Like we've all seen that. I want her to be a 10. Dude, you ate 10 bags of Cheetos yesterday. So actions speak again, well, these are cliches. Actions speak louder than words. Practice what you preach. If you want, and here's another thing. If you're and again, when I say values, I know I say this a lot, but you don't even have to be in good shape. Just be in above average shape. If you're in above average shape, your financial house is in order. If you show her that you can handle her women, her womanly wiles, if you show her, again, by your actions or your words that you're not going to tolerate her bullshit, girls aren't going to get completely out of pocket in the beginning. We've all seen in public where a woman, is walking around a man and she's disrespecting him, and what they'll do is they'll try to a crack in the armor. Here, hold my purse for me. Whoa, nuh-uh. As silly and as trivial as that is, guys, that is a shit test. hold my purse for me. Fuck that. I'm not doing that. Oh my God, what's wrong with you? I'm not holding that purse. She'll laugh it off, but she knows you're not here for the bullshit. Anytime she tries her little mind games and make fun of other people, like if you see a proposal out in public, oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, you must make a lot of money. Oh my God, how could you? Hey, you know what's true too. Make sure again that your value side stay in good shape. Keep up on the red pill content. You shouldn't have to verbalize. I think Rollo says it best. It's called passive dread. When other women notice you, and your woman will notice when other women notice you, she's going to stay in pocket. Now, you will have to verbally check her every once in a while, but you have to be consistent. That's how I would do it. Make sure you have your shit in line before you start making demands of your woman. 2 things. Make sure you have your shit in order. Number 2, never, ever, ever angle for a long-term relationship first. As soon as you ask a woman to be your girlfriend before she asks you to be her boyfriend, your leverage is out the door. You can't say, hey, do you want to be my girlfriend? Sure. Okay, I need to see your phone. Right? No, you don't have a right to see her phone. You told her that she was good enough to warrant your commitment. So she doesn't have to do anything any longer. But when she asks you to be in a long-term relationship, that's when you can start making demands. And of course, you guys can go to DonovanSharpe.com for all that stuff.
Donovan, do you think a lot of men are attempting to fix unresolved mommy issues with their girlfriends? I mean, every guy I know that is a player, loves his mom.
Yeah, define mommy issues for me.
Well, not getting maybe they didn't feel loved by their mothers, or
wow.
Mothers did this or that, you know?
Oh, boy. Do I think that players are trying to resolve their mommy issues through women? Mommy issues are a little bit different from daddy issues. Daddy issues, what's interesting about this particular dichotomy is that daddy issues occur when daddy is not in the home. Daddy issues are created by the absence of daddy. Mommy issues are created by the presence of mommy. Right? Funny how that works. There's no such thing. You may have issues with your mom, but there's no such thing as mommy issues. Women would love to think that they're so important as single parents that it's sort of an inverse projection. Oh, you say I have daddy issues? Well, you have mommy issues. We're important. No, sweetheart. Within the context of raising your kids by yourself, mommy issues don't exist. Yes, you can have issues with your mom. A lot of players do love their mothers. Gosh, do they try to resolve their mommy issues? Yeah, a lot of them do. A lot of men try to get their women to treat them like their mom especially like if their mother spoils them, then they expect a woman to spoil them. God, I mean, I've got issues with my mom, but I wish I had a better answer for you because I don't really have mommy issues. But yeah, I love my mother, but I know the truth about her, and I would never try to resolve my mommy issues with my woman. If you do, then she's not going to be your woman for very long. I hope that answers your question. That's probably a bad answer. Oh, wow, you guys are okay.
Yeah, great talk, Donovan. Yeah, when I told you that you're the hardest working man in the manosphere, like I wasn't blowing smoke, dude. I mean, I'm one of your if you ever become this guy's Patreon, your phone will beep like 5 or 6 times a day with Donovan Sharpe posts. Like, no joke. So, and I was going to ask you this one-on-one, but I figured everybody would benefit from the answer. Yeah. Walk me through like the Sharpe reality. Like, what is a day in the life of Donovan Sharpe? You say you wake up at 4:30, you squat. What do you do from grinding in the iron paradise till when you're chilling with the lady at night? Like, what's your hourly regimen?
Yeah. So I'm up usually between 4:30 and 5 o'clock. I hit the gym. I'm there for about 2 hours. I come home. Now the night before, I've done 2 hours of show prep before I'm on with O'Shea with the Brother Pill on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I do 2 hours of show prep at night. I get up at 4:30, between 4:30 and 5. I go to the gym for 2 hours. I come back, do another 2 hours of show prep. I'm on the air for 2 hours. When I get off the air, that's when I start my show prep and consultations. For those of you guys who have done consults with me, at that point, it's show prep, consultation, show prep. When I'm done with show prep, that's usually about the time that Devin gets home. I'll try to spend some time with her because there's really not much time during the week. If I don't have a Brother Pill podcast, then I'll spend the rest of the time with Devin, and then I get up and I do it all over again. So, and it's interesting. Here's another thing, guys. When you're living this life, what you're going to realize is that the older you get, and thanks for the question, man, the older you get, the more valuable the commodity of time becomes to you, right? I find myself paying more money for services and goods to save a little bit more time. Guys, save money, but you want to save that time. Like, I love being able to do what I do for a living. I never thought in a million years that I'd be doing this, but it's definitely a time crush. But again, what is that? That's part of the cost. That's part of the residual cost of living this life.
One last quick question.
Yeah.
How do you fight burnout, man? Like, do you ever just like, dude, I got to take a week off? Like, how do you keep that at bay?
Oh,
Thank
man. I don't know. I think the way I fight burnout is I always think about the guy who's on the verge of maybe just giving up, a guy who's maybe thinking about buying a sex doll, or maybe a guy who is wanting to kill himself, or maybe a guy who wants to sheepishly text back his ex. And I try to put myself in that guy's position and say, you know what? Maybe today's show, maybe today's appearance will help swing that guy in the right direction. The way I conquer burnouts is I just try to take power naps throughout the day. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Maybe I'll crash and burn. Who knows?
Hi, Donovan.
Hey.
Fantastic talk.
Thank you.
Basically, recently I've become more aware of dealing with shit tests and looking out for them and developing strategies. So, it hasn't happened for a while, but what strategies would you suggest for dealing with your woman if she starts flirting in front of you? It could be smacking the guy's arm if he makes a joke or something like that. Would you deal with it there or in private, etc.?
The answer is both, right? So if you're with your woman and she smacks a guy's arm, hee hee hee, ha 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 ha, you look her dead in the eye, you say, grab your shit, we're leaving. Right? You remove her from the situation. That's what you do. Grab your shit, we're leaving. You take her home, or if you guys live together, you take her home, you go 24-hour blackout. She needs to know it, and listen, she's going to try you. Why are you doing this? She knows why you're doing this, right? What girls covet the most, girls can get dick anytime they want to. Girls walk out the door, they're hitting face with dicks, right? Oh my God, a dozen dicks right in the face. But what they want from you is your time and attention. You remove your time and attention and you correct that bad behavior.
All right. Let's give it up for, all right. Let's give it up for Donovan Sharpe.
Thank you.
What was your experience so far with the 21 convention?
Oh, outstanding. Professional, all across the board.
Really good energy with a lot of people, and I just like it because it's a very positive direction.
This, George, this has been a first-class event.
It's fantastic. You guys run a really tight ship. I've been to a lot of conventions over the course of my business career, and I can tell when things are well run and when things aren't, and this is a very well-run operation. I was very impressed.
It's pretty incredible to see where Anthony's brought it, especially from last year, which was my first year here, and to see the upgrades he's made has been incredible.
I've got my notebook, and with every speaker, I've written down about 2 or 3 lines under each of the speakers of just the key prime stuff that I got. That's good.
It's very surreal, man. I'm really enjoying it. I'm happy to live in such an era where such a thing like this is possible.
I have never seen a group of guys like this, a group of 200 men who are focused, squared away, they're working on their values. Just never met a bigger group of wonderful guys.
It's kind of neat because I've been to a fair amount of conventions in my day, but you never see one where the guys like here you can just see Ed Lattimore talking to Tanner about boxing.
Yeah.
You just sit down and then you tell your boxing experiences. Everybody's kind of pinging off each other. It's nice.
It has been fantastic. And it's been 4 days of guys all on the same page, working in the same direction.
Fascinating meeting some of the people, hearing their stories. You got people traveling from other parts of the world to come here just to see some of the speakers. That's amazing.
The thing that's impressed me is everybody here is very serious.
Yeah.
They're taking it, close to their heart.
What a great convention.
Thanks, George.